Princess Catherine had the most traumatic year of her life, and her cancer battle was made only worse by some of the terrible abuse and mockery that she received online from some of Prince Harry and Meghan's most outspoken and unpleasant supporters. I've looked into this, the new Palace Confidential newsletter, and while Catherine was receiving treatment and going through some of her hardest times, she was also having to face this barrage of really nasty abuse and mockery online. For more royal insights, comment newsletter, and I'll send you all the details of how to sign up.
Richard Eden, you are an opportunistic parasite. You don't give a damn about Kate Middleton's health, her privacy, or her peace. What you care about is email signups, click-through rates, and monetizing her illness to push your tired tabloid trash to an equally tired audience. You're not a journalist. You're a gossip merchant who stumbled into the palace gates by clout-chasing cancer updates. And let's really talk about this latest stunt. You're pretending to be Kate's white knight, crying crocodile tears about mockery and abuse from Meghan and Harry supporters, while actively platforming and profiting from the same vitriol that drove Meghan to suicidal ideation when she was pregnant and hounded by your industry. Where were these fragile feelings while Meghan was being compared to a monkey by a BBC host? Where was your outrage when the Daily Fail was dissecting her womb and her wedding and her fucking avocados? The truth is, you don't care about online abuse unless it can be weaponized against Meghan. You're not protecting Kate. You're exploiting her. Just like you exploited Meghan. And just like you'd exploit a puff of royal perfume if it meant boosting your signups. And don't act like this abuse only comes from Meghan fans, because we've all seen the receipts. The death threats Meghan gets, the slurs, the deep fakes, the constant racist bile. And she's never gotten a single ounce of your sympathy. Not one. Why? Because you're not covering the royals? You're covering for the royals. You're not here to report facts. You're here to carry water for an institution that feeds off Meghan's dehumanization. So your moral panic can kiss my ass, and your fake compassion can suck it. You're not here to protect women. You're here to package their pain into profit. And if Kate is going through the hardest year of her life, then shame on you for using that to boost your brand. Say it with me. Richard Eden doesn't care about Kate. Richard Eden cares about Richard Eden. Period. This man isn't a journalist. He's a royal PR mouthpiece with an agenda. And you'd be a fool to think otherwise. 3. She left the crown but still wants the title. She didn't leave the crown and keep the title. She walked away from the entire institution. The HRH, the security, the palace, the staff, the senior role, everything. She left completely. And the use of Sussex as a surname? That's standard royal protocol. Prince William and Prince Harry went by Wales growing up because their father was the Prince of Wales. Now Harry's kids use Sussex. And Prince George? He goes by George Wales in school. It's not branding, it's convention. And again, you'd know that if you cared enough to check. Google is free. You're not interested in facts. You're invested in spin. You claim she clings to the monarchy, but you're the one who keeps invoking it. You don't want her to let go. You want her erased. 2. She's a brand. Yes, she is. Because when people like you try to rip someone apart daily, having a brand isn't vanity. It's defense. It's called protecting your name when the world tries to assign you one. And let's be clear. Beyonce is a brand. Michelle Obama is a brand. Taylor Swift is a brand. Serena Williams is a brand. Women in the public eye are always a brand because they have to be. 1. She's not one of us. Say what you mean. She's not white. That's what you're really getting at. She doesn't move through the world with the same inherited grace you recognize. She doesn't cater to your expectations of meekness, humility, or apologetic success. She's not one of us because she's not small. She's not grateful for scraps. And she's not interested in belonging to a group that would gatekeep worthiness based on palatability. You want her to blend in. She chose to stand out. And that's why you're spiraling. Desperately trying to justify hatred that isn't rooted in facts, but discomfort. You say she's not one of us. You're right. She's better. And this idea of not one of us completely aligns with your brand of politics. Imagine your daughter, your granddaughter, your niece, your little sister walks into school, and you raised her to be confident, smart, well-spoken, and a group of girls decides to tear her apart for it. They call her fake. They whisper that she thinks she's better. They isolate her, scrutinize everything she says, everything she wears, everything she is, not because of what she's done, but because of how she carries herself. And she comes home in tears and asks you, "Why do they hate me?" Would you say, "Well, sweetie, maybe they're confused by how polished you are. Maybe tone it down"? No. We know the truth. You'd call it bullying. You'd call it cruel. Because it is. So, explain to me, why can't you recognize when you're the one doing it? You're not offering perspective. You're not making a point. You're not helping other women. You're just masking contempt. With calm tones and a soft camera filter. You are the bully. You are the problem. And if your own daughter ever met a woman like you, you'd be horrified. You know what I truly find hilarious? The same people who believe Meghan wore a moon bump are the ones who still can't spell Duchess without autocorrect. Let's talk about it. You sit there on your stained couch, half a Dorito in your hair, scrolling through Facebook conspiracy groups like it's intelligence gathering, convinced that a woman who married into royalty, gave birth in a hospital, had medical records, photos, interviews, witnesses, somehow managed to pull off an entire fake pregnancy with a silicone prop like she's on a low-budget crime drama. You're fucking stupid. And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as factual, documented, observable reality. You're not bright. You lack critical thinking. You confuse your paranoia with perfection. You confuse your hate with research. And you confuse your loser-ass hobby of tearing down a woman you'll never meet with actual purpose. That's the saddest part. You think a royal protection officer, a full hospital staff, senior aides, global press, and the actual palace would all participate in a baby cosplay plot just to satisfy Meghan's imaginary ego? Please, be for fucking real. What you're saying out loud is that she faked 2 pregnancies, fooled the world, and you, a woman named Debbie, with 12 followers and a Kate Middleton stan account, cracked the case. That's what you're saying. That's what you want credit for. Sweetheart, seek help. It's not even about Meghan at this point. It's about you. Your brain is broken. You're committed to this fantasy because you have nothing else. You're not educated. You're not accomplished. You're not interesting. So you latch onto this nonsense because it gives you identity. It makes you feel superior to a woman who, objectively, is out of your league in every category. Intellect, beauty, work ethic, character, status, bank account, taste, vocabulary, you name it. She's on the cover of magazines. You're in the comments of hate forums. She's feeding her children. You're foaming at the mouth about a bump that you saw blurry in screenshots from 2019. You are not well. And let's address the racism too. Because you didn't say shit about Kate's pregnancies. Nobody accused her of wearing padding. You gave her bump the royal treatment, literally. But when it's Meghan, suddenly she's trying to scam the monarchy, the doctors, the Queen, MI6, and your Aunt Carol from Oklahoma. The math isn't mathing, and the bias is screaming. So let me be very clear. You're not a skeptic. You're not a truth seeker. You are not just asking questions. You are unstable, classless, low IQ, white-knuckled lunatics who traded in your dignity for conspiracy theory and a Facebook badge. Meghan's not wearing a bump. You're wearing delusion, and it doesn't look good on you. So next time you want to accuse a woman of faking 2 pregnancies just because she intimidates you, maybe ask yourself why. That lie makes you feel safe, because that's what this really is about. You can't handle the truth that a black woman outshined your monarchy, and you've never recovered. Now shut the hell up, wipe the drool off your hairy chin, and go touch some grass. Isn't it funny how Meghan can be insulted, degraded, and dehumanized on a daily basis, and somehow that's considered commentary? They mock her every move, call her names, drag her mother, speculate about her children, and they do it proudly, publicly, and relentlessly. But the second I push back, the second I respond with facts, clarity, and just the fraction of the energy they throw at her, now suddenly they're the victims. Get the fuck out of here. They spend their days gleefully attacking a woman who's never done anything to them. But the moment some of us hold up a mirror, they suddenly collapse into a pile of wounded egos and crocodile tears. And let's talk about how unhinged they get the moment we mention Kate and William. They can insult Meghan's hair, her skin, her voice, her clothes, her parenting, and that's all fine. But we say one thing about Kate's styling or William's hypocrisy, suddenly it's disrespectful. Suddenly we've gone too far. Let me be clear. I only bring up Kate and William to level the playing field, to be petty and to make a point, to show them what it feels like, to give them the tiniest taste of what Meghan has endured for years. And guess what? They can't handle it. They want to attack Meghan with impunity, but when some of us return the fire, with calm, with facts, with precision, they unravel. They're not interested in fairness. They're interested in control. They want Meghan silenced, her defenders silent, and their hate left unchallenged. But that's not going to happen. Not anymore. Because what's good for the geese is good for the gander. And if you're uncomfortable now, good. That's the point. If you remember the TIG, then you already know. Meghan created something special. It was smart, stylish, thoughtful, and completely ahead of its time. A place where joy, curiosity, and taste lived side by side. And now, something is stirring again. Go follow @TheTiglet on Instagram. It's a safe space for Meghan supporters, and something very special is coming. I'm not saying what, but you'll all want to be there when it happens. Trust me, don't miss it. Here's the truth nobody in the hate economy wants to admit. Meghan is the reason half of these people even have a platform. Every time her name trends, a swarm of desperate podcasters, clout-chasing TikTokers, and underachieving YouTubers scramble to monetize it. They pretend to hate her, but they need her. Without Meghan, their content dries up. Their views crash. Their channel dies. She doesn't fuel outrage. She funds their bills. These people don't produce original content. They recycle Daily Fail headlines and TMZ drivel, slap on a smug voiceover, and call it commentary. They build entire personas around dissecting a woman they've never met, while pretending they're somehow holding her accountable. But they're not holding anyone accountable. They're cashing in. They profit off of manufactured outrage and tabloid lies. And they do it with no shame. Truly the most deplorable scum of the earth. And the British tabloids? They're the beating heart of the circus. The same papers that hacked phones, bribed palace staff, stalked Meghan's parents, and lost lawsuits for defamation. These are the sources that hate influencers worship like scripture. Tabloids run hit pieces, and within hours, it's been repackaged in a dozen TikToks, 6 YouTube breakdowns, and a podcast episode with the word exposed in the title. No fact checking, no context, just copy, paste, monetize. They call her a grifter while making money off her name. They say she's irrelevant, but can't go a single week without posting about her. They whine that she's everywhere, while being the ones who keep her everywhere. It's obsession, and it's lucrative for them. Meghan, on the other hand, she's building a business, raising her kids, creating content, and staying quiet, while they spiral over her silence. The irony? She doesn't know their names, but they know hers, because it pays their bills. And the second her name stops trending, they panic. Because without Meghan, they have no brand, no audience, no purpose. They owe her their careers. She's not the problem, she's the product. And they're the ones selling her.
Let me tell you something about race. So they say, if it ain't white, it ain't right. Well, guess what? If it ain't black, it ain't motherfucking fact. Because that white paper don't got shit about it until them black words are put on that motherfucker. Did you hear what I just said? If it ain't white, it ain't right. Well, if it ain't black, it ain't fact. Because that white paper you're looking at blankly don't mean shit to nobody without the black words that are on it to give you the education you motherfucking need. Pay attention to people and not to what the fuck you see on the outside, and you might learn something in your life. You might be able to upgrade yourself, and you might have an understanding of some shit you never knew you were possible of understanding. It's called reality, not delusion. It's called love. It's called inclusivity. It's called unity. It's called human race, respect for the human regard. Not being a selfish ass bitch because you have a fucking view about some shit you don't understand or comprehend in the first place. You just want to run with a sociological norm because you want to feel fucking special.
The world of royal reporting is rarely quiet. But this week it exploded into a full-blown digital boxing ring. The fighters? Richard Eden, a well-known royal columnist, and notorious JTB, a sharp-witted social media commentator famous for calling out unfair reporting. Their topic was Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, and how the media covers her compared to other royals. It started with a single column, but soon became a headline-grabbing feud. Eden, known for his traditional royal views, published strong opinions about Meghan's latest charity work. Notorious JTB responded loudly and publicly, armed with facts and a loyal following online. Within hours, Eden versus JTB was trending. Fans and critics from both camps jumped into the debate. Each side had their own arguments, memes and hashtags. Everyone wanted to have the final word, but the questions raised went far beyond Meghan herself. This wasn't just about two personalities. The Eden versus JTB feud quickly became a flashpoint for a much bigger conversation about media fairness, double standards, and the future of royal reporting. Richard Eden's column criticised Meghan Markle's appearance at a London charity event, accusing her of seeking attention and outshining other royals. The sharp tone sparked immediate backlash. Social media lit up, with many calling out double standards and royal bias. The controversy highlighted frustration over how Meghan is treated compared to other royals. Notorious JTB is known for digging deep and bringing receipts. In response to Eden's column, JTB posted a detailed thread on X, listing side-by-side examples, Meghan doing charity work versus other royals. In almost every case, Meghan faced criticism, while others received praise. The thread quickly went viral, and JTB's followers praised the research and clarity. JTB ended with a challenge: hold everyone to the same standard. Meghan Markle has faced relentless criticism from the press since joining the royal family. Stories about her clothes, family, and even breakfast choices become scandals. Meanwhile, other royals often receive praise for similar things. Experts and watchdogs have found Meghan is criticised for what others are praised for. For many, this is just the latest example of unfair treatment, and they're ready to push back. Meghan's supporters are honestly some of the most active and vocal fans on social media. After Eden's column and JTB's response, they launched a wave of hashtags to defend the Duchess. Popular hashtags included "We Love Meghan," "Fair Royal Coverage," and "Stop the Bias." Each day, thousands of tweets poured in. These fans didn't just post messages, they shared papers and broadcasters. They called for changes in editorial policies. Many said they wanted the press to treat Meghan like any other royal, without extra criticism or suspicion. The hashtag movement gained support from celebrities and influencers too. Their posts reached millions, helping make the conversation about media fairness go global. The Sussex supporters really proved that social media could be a powerful tool for change. It's a textbook case of double standards. Other experts defended Eden, arguing that royal reporting is always tough. Every royal gets criticised at some point, said royal biographer Simon Jeffers. Meghan is not being singled out. She's just more famous right now. Jeffers warned that public feuds on social media could harm the royal family's image even further. Some commentators took a middle ground. They agreed that Meghan has faced tough coverage, but worried that online campaigns might make reporters afraid to do their jobs. "We need honest reporting, but also fairness," said podcast host Emily Young. Both sides have important points. The debate among experts made it clear this was about more than just one article. It was about trust in the media, freedom of the press, and the future of royal reporting itself. A few key moments from the Eden versus JTB showdown went especially viral. One video clip showed JTB's passionate response to Eden's claims, quickly getting over 1 million views. Another post comparing headlines about Meghan and Kate was shared by famous celebrities, adding even more fuel to the debate. Memes and reaction GIFs spread quickly, making the feud a trending topic not just in the United Kingdom, but around the world. #Eden vs JTB became a digital battleground where people shared their own stories about media bias and double standards. News outlets picked up on the social media buzz. Television reporters covered the online debate, interviewing fans, experts, and even some journalists involved. The story moved from Twitter feeds to the front pages and nightly news. These viral moments helped keep the issue of media fairness in the spotlight. They showed how fast public opinion can shift when people have a platform to speak out and share their views. Double standards mean judging two people by different rules, even if they do the same thing. In the case of Meghan Markle, many believe the media holds her to a higher and often unfair standard compared to other royals. This is the core of the debate between Eden and JTB. JTB's posts provided clear examples. When a royal like Kate or William did something, the media praised them. When Meghan did the same, she was criticised. This difference in treatment is what fans and commentators call a double standard. It's not just about Meghan, but about fairness for everyone. Understanding double standards is important. If the media only praises some people and criticises others, it shapes how the public sees those people. Over time, it can harm reputations and even affect how royals do their work. The Eden versus JTB debate made double standards impossible to ignore. Thousands joined the conversation, asking why Meghan is treated differently and calling for equal reporting rules for all royals. The big question now is, will this debate change anything? Some believe the public pressure will force the media to rethink how they cover Meghan, and perhaps all royals. Newsrooms might become more careful, making sure their stories are fair and balanced. Others are less hopeful. They say the royal press has always had favourites, and old habits are hard to break. Still, the size and strength of the response to Eden's column shows people care deeply about fairness and media accountability. Royal experts agree that this debate is not over. The way Meghan is covered will likely remain in the spotlight for years to come. Social media gives fans a powerful voice, and they are determined to use it. Whether or not the press changes, the Eden versus JTB feud has started a bigger conversation. It's about honesty, respect, and the right of every person, royal or not, to be treated fairly by the media.